Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 28th of July 2022, and just a short one from me today because I'm going off to see Dominic, the guy I talked about a couple of weeks ago. He's doing another talk in the same place we saw him the other week. This time it's on common law rather than kind of more general truther stuff. I think there was a bit of a mix-up last time because I think other people in my group, my Stand in the Park group, thought that was going to be about common law. So tonight is definitely going to be about it. So hopefully I'll be learning a few pearls of wisdom tonight, and I'll report on any good juicy stuff tomorrow. And I'm going to see if I can pin this Dominic guy down, because I promised you guys an interview with him. He did say yes, but I haven't got a date from him, so I'm going to get those wheels in motion tonight and hopefully be able to report on something as far as an interview date's concerned, because he's a really interesting guy and I think you guys will be interested in hearing about him. Anyway, just a little thought that occurred to me today. I've been through London's Victoria Station quite a few times in the last few weeks, and it's one of the main railway stations in London if you ever come through it. And I was just wondering what would happen if you kind of just went back exactly 100 years. The station would probably look basically the same, but obviously with a fair few differences as well. But I think the basic building's well over 100 years old. And just imagine you go back there 100 years ago, so what's that, 28th of July 1922, and let's say you're waiting on the platform for a train and you've got people standing around you, and you've got a youngish guy there sort of next to you, you're sort of talking to, and then the train comes into the station and you go to get on it, but before getting on, if you thought a certain way, you might perhaps pull your mask out of your pocket and pop it on, and then this young guy sort of next to you would sort of look at you and sort of think, what are you doing? Sort of putting that on. You're expecting a gas attack or something, because this guy would probably likely be sort of relatively fresh off the Western Front, going 100 years ago. It would have just been sort of 4 years in the past. It'd have been sort of relatively recent then, wouldn't it? And you'd sort of say, oh, I've got to put my mask on because I'm afraid of getting lurgies, I'm afraid of germs, I'm afraid of diseases, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that, afraid of the hot weather. And can you imagine what this bloke would have been like? He would have sort of looked at you aghast, and he would have probably said something along the lines of, mate, you obviously weren't in the war, were you, on the Western Front? Because we saw everything there. We saw, we're living cheek by jowl with rats, dead bodies, mud, filth, excrements, and everything else in those trenches. And we got everything. We all got dysentery at one point or another. We got all kinds, flu, all kinds of other diseases, and that's even before you get started on the bombs and bullets, of course. And you're telling me that you are afraid of just a few little germs on the train? Now, come on, mate, pull yourself together and man up. And that is probably something along the lines of what a guy back then would have said 100 years ago, isn't it? And because, of course, back then we were talking about people who knew real hardship, real privation, real discomfort, real danger and death, not just the fabricated pretend kind of stuff we have for the most part these days. So yeah, that was just a little thought or a little thought process that popped into my head, having been at London's Victoria Station quite a few times. And yeah, I don't know what you think, how we compare these days to people from 100 years ago. Sure, you've probably got a few comments on that, so leave them in the comment section below here, and I'll be back tomorrow. Tim from Fairplay now, thanks for watching.